Welcome into Steelers Talk by Chat Sports, presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. When duty calls, I guess is what they say, guys, is I am on my way to actually get my marriage license here in Minnesota with Cassie. Cassie's currently driving the car. And, of course, we get the news today of all days that Aaron Rodgers is on his way to Pittsburgh to visit with the Pittsburgh Steelers this weekend to probably sign a contract. So we're going to talk about what this means for the Pittsburgh Steelers here, all the latest from Ian Rapoport, Adam Crowley, and others. But before we get into it, guys, make sure you click that subscribe button, because whether I'm in a car on the way to get my marriage license, whether I'm sick like I was this week, whatever the case may be, if we get news on Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, my promise to you guys is I'm getting you free content on this channel no matter what, as early as I possibly can. And if we get official word on Aaron Rodgers later today or later this weekend, I will be doing my very best to go live for you guys so we can discuss this together on a live show. But now let's jump right into it here. According to Adam Crowley and 93.7 The Fan this morning, they broke the news that Aaron Rodgers is on his way to Pittsburgh to meet with the Pittsburgh Steelers this weekend, with the expectation that he will sign a contract to return to the Pittsburgh Steelers as their starting quarterback this season. Now, obviously, this has been kind of the news that we've been waiting really all offseason for. We were waiting before free agency, and then during free agency, and then before the NFL draft. Now the NFL draft has come and gone, and throughout this entire process, the Steelers have continued to show a level of comfortability with this whole process. Really showing with their behavior, not going after Malik Willis, not going after Kyler Murray, not drafting a quarterback in the first round this year, drafting a developmental quarterback in Drew Aller instead of one that was maybe more ready to play right away. It certainly pointed to Aaron Rodgers, at least leaning towards coming back, and he wanted to get to a certain point in the offseason, and he wanted to remain open to everything and attached to nothing, or whatever he likes to say. And now it seems like he's made his decision, or at least he's getting close to a decision. Now, it is important to note that no deal has been finalized in terms of the contract. In fact, Mark Cabali of the Pat McAfee show says that the team wasn't even aware that he was on his way to Pittsburgh. So this is a situation that is certainly developing as we speak. We're going to be getting more information here throughout the course of the weekend. So, of course, make sure you guys are subscribed so that we can give you guys the very latest updates. But according to Ian Rapoport, right now, the very latest is that he has not agreed to terms on a contract. The expectation is he's not going to sign the UFA tender necessarily, which would set his salary up at about $15.5 million for this season. The expectation is that they're going to be discussing terms about the contract, but according to Rapoport and according to other reporters here, the money aspect of this is not expected to be a big deal. I'm sure Rodgers might want a little bit more than the $15.5 million that he's currently slated to get on the UFA tender. But I would expect his salary for this season to come in under $20 million, which would make him the lowest paid veteran starting quarterback in the National Football League. And when you consider, the leadership that he brings to the table, when you consider the football intelligence and the arm talent that he brings to the table, I think that that's a steal for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have now surrounded him with a better surrounding cast than what he had just last year, where he didn't really have much of a receiving room. I thought that Arthur Smith did not do a fantastic job with the personnel management last year and with the play calling. This year, you get the upgrade in the offensive play caller and Mike McCarthy. Then you also have the upgrade at the wide receiver room with Michael Pittman Jr. and Jeremy Bernard being injected into this group. And then also you're going to see more of Pat Freiermuth, which is what Aaron Rodgers was really advocating for most of last season, with Jonnu Smith leading that group in snaps in the tight end room last year. Now, coming up here, I'm going to be breaking down kind of my continued thoughts on this and what I think it means for the Pittsburgh Steelers moving forward here with Aaron Rodgers likely coming back as this team's starting quarterback. But first, I got to tell you about our presenting sponsor here at Prize Picks, where playoff basketball is finally here, and you guys can cash in on that action here and really enhance your playoff viewing experience with our friends at Prize Picks. You guys can take a look here at my Prize Picks lineup here. I'm taking the more on points for Donovan Mitchell, the more on points for Chet Holmgren, and then the less on points for LeBron James. This would be a $20 projection, and then if you do a power play, you guys can get $120 back if you get all three correct. So make sure you use code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup. If you do those two things, then they'll give you $50 in additional lineups. Again, guys, that's code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to get an additional $50 in lineups. Click the link down in the comments and description to download the app, and a big thank you to Prize Picks for sponsoring Steelers Talk. So continuing on here with our discussion of Aaron Rodgers coming in to Pittsburgh this weekend, who knows when he's actually going to sign the contract? It could be later today. It could be, it could be Friday, Saturday, or even on Mother's Day on Sunday. So we just don't really have those answers right now. We'll see what the contract figure comes into. Like I mentioned, I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. I'm sure Aaron might want to put in some incentives in there so that he can get paid more if the Steelers can make the playoffs, win the division, win a playoff game, etc., kind of the way that his contract was set up last year. I do think he's going to end up making more than he did last season, frankly, because he deserves it, but it's still going to be at a massive value to this team. And in terms of, is this the right call for the Pittsburgh Steelers to want Aaron Rodgers back? I think it absolutely is. I've been saying it on the show here for a while now that I think, bringing back Aaron Rodgers as the QB1 for this season is what's best for this team right now in the short term, but it's also what's best for the long-term future at the position as well. It's best for the short term because Aaron is the best quarterback available on the market. He's an expert in the Mike McCarthy offense, so it's an easy transition in year one of the Mike McCarthy era. And he's already got established chemistry with multiple members of this offense already. So I think that, that easiest transition, and then also the playoff experience helps. And I think with the enhanced surrounding cast, I think he's going to play better in year two than he did in year one. But then he's best for the long term as well because Drew Aller, I think, is not ready to play right away. And I honestly don't think the team believes in Will Howard so much where they feel like that he should be given the keys to the castle here and he should be the starting quarterback heading into this year in a win now season with all these veterans. They're trying to get Cam Hayward a Super Bowl before he retires, all this different stuff. If you were trying to put your best foot forward and try to give yourself the best chance to win a title this year, Aaron Rodgers provides that. But in the meantime, Drew Aller, who needs a year to sit and develop, gets the benefit of having Aaron Rodgers as a mentor who might be the world's leading expert at how to play quarterback in a Mike McCarthy offense. And having Rodgers at QB1 is going to buy Drew Aller much needed time to make the proper steps in his development. He has to completely retool his footwork. He needs to completely retool how he mentally processes defenses if he's going to have his best chance at success in the league. We all know he's got the physical talent, but he needs the time to, take the coaching of Mike McCarthy and Tom Arth and really develop that in his first year. And it really is best to do that in an environment where he's not asked to play right away. So having Rodgers in there, I think, is an invaluable resource for specifically Drew Aller. Obviously, it's not the best news if you're hoping that Will Howard was going to get a chance to play this year, because I really think this was Will's best chance to play if he was going to get a chance here in Pittsburgh. But it seems like the Steelers feel like Aaron Rodgers is the best man for the job here moving forward. And I'm personally really excited to see what this team is going to look like in year two of the Aaron Rodgers. Now, obviously, the deal is not officially done. Things could theoretically go haywire, but it certainly sounds like, based on the reporting, that Rodgers is heading to Pittsburgh this weekend, not to, have lunch with Mike McCarthy or anything like that. It's a business trip. He's going to sign the contract. He's going to officially be, coming back for this season. And I think that is a good thing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, that's going to be it for right now, guys. I really appreciate your support and all that great stuff. If we get official word later today, I'm going to be doing my best to go live with you guys on this channel. But make sure you guys stay tuned. This is why you guys click that subscribe button, by the way, because if we get more developments on this throughout the day, we're going to continue to keep you guys updated, even though I've got a pretty busy schedule on the personal side of things here today. So greatly appreciate your guys' support. I will see you guys later. And until then, guys,